So, my view of the Kyrie Irving situation, coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, by now, everybody's familiar with what's going on with Kyrie Irving's situation. We've all heard of it by now. And to recap, basically, he was suspended by the Brooklyn Nets because he posted a link to a documentary by the name of From Hebrews to Negroes. In other words, this documentary supports the narrative and promotes the narrative of the black Hebrew Israelites, which I'm very familiar with. As a result, like I said, he was suspended indefinitely, and they gave him the list of 5 things that he had to do in order to be reinstated back to the team. Now, of course, we all seen the list. One of those things was, he has to make this formal apology, and he has to take sensitivity training and donate $500,000 to his organization and whatnot. Now, personally, I have to say that, I'm very, very familiar with the whole black Hebrew Israelite narrative, and I disagree with it because I've seen the evidence that they bring forth, the scripture that they nitpick in the Bible. I've seen it, and I just don't believe it. I've seen mountains of other data that say that it's not the case, but that's my view, and that's what I believe, and he's also entitled to believe what he's believed. Now, I will defend his right to believe whatever it is that he wants to believe, even if I disagree. If it's not causing anyone harm, you know what I'm saying? If he's not violating the law in this disagreement, okay, I can come down on that, but he hasn't done anything about it. He hasn't told anyone to go out and hurt Jewish people, but they call them anti-Semitic, which honestly I say means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he posted a link telling people to go burn and pillage and loot. Go to DC and cause $2 billion worth of damage. He didn't post a link telling black folks to go do that. Okay, he did not post a link, make a post telling anyone to go get up in people's faces to harass them at grocery stores, harass them at restaurants, at gas stations, harass them at their home, give them no peace, no quarter. He didn't post a link to any of that. Or he didn't make a post saying any of that. He just simply posted a link to a documentary in which he believed, after watching, the black Hebrew Israelite narrative. Now, I just don't see a problem with that. Why is there's this firestorm coming down on him? I completely disagree with the nonsense because he didn't do anything. He did absolutely nothing wrong to warrant what he's going through right now. So, this is where good people have to stand up. This is what happens when you have a politically correct society and you've let nonsense, good men and women have let nonsense go fester for far too long. This is a product of that. This is the reason why we have, drag queen story hour or a man winning the Miss America contest or something like that. Okay, this is why we have a situation in this country now that you can have a 7-year-old child, can't vote, can't decide to go to the military, can't drive, can't apply for a driver's license because they're too young. They can't buy alcohol. They can't buy tobacco or cigarettes. They can't go see an R-rated movie. They can't decide to have consensual sex with an adult, but they can decide what gender there is. I mean, this is the insanity that we live in. And if you try to stop that child, they'll send the government after you. They'll come after you. This is what happens when you let BS go on. So I support Kyrie Irving in his decision that if he has enough money in investments to sustain himself, I would say stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Do not change. Do not apologize, because anytime you apologize to these people, it gets worse for you. And at this point, I would tell not black people, because I don't see this. This is not a black-white issue. This is just a simple right and wrong. And I employ everybody, not black people, not white people, orange people, blue people, good people, to say enough is this. Stand with him regardless of what your skin shade is, because it's the right thing to do. And if they can do this to him, they can do it to anybody. This is why I would say if people have a movement against the Brooklyn Nets or the NBA or and all the subsidiary companies, that people who are dropping him, the same thing they did with Kanye West, I wouldn't have an issue. Matter of fact, I would join in, because it's the right thing to do. I don't have a problem with a protest if it's a legitimate protest. Now, if it's some BS, some black person out there think a white person looked at them too long and therefore it's racism, we need to go march and take it to the streets, that's stupid. But if it's something legitimate, I'd be part of it. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say, I've never believed in the concept of the Zionist Jews. I've heard people say this, this idea that you got these powerful, rich, powerful Jews in high places controlling things. I never believed it, because I believe that the number one person who has control over your life is you. But after this situation here, which is just absolutely blatant, how can I tell these people that they're wrong? How can I say that the Zionism is just conspiracy theory? Because this right here gives evidence to Zionism. I mean, this is just flat out ridiculous what they're making this man do, all for just posting a link to a documentary that's not causing anyone any harm or belief, on top of all the other documentaries out here that promotes beliefs. So that anyway, that's just my 2 cents on this. I stand with Kyrie Irving. I think he did absolutely, it's not I think, I know he did absolutely nothing wrong, and there was nothing that he did to warrant the response that they are doing to him. What was happening to him is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm calling on anybody, whatever your skin shade, stand for what's right. It's not about race. It's not about good and evil. I'm not going to go there. It's just about what's basically right and wrong. Anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.